Well, welcome to southern New Mexico, West Texas. Today we're going to plant some beets.
Welcome to Doug's Urban Garden.
Now, if you live in an apartment with a patio, a small backyard, and you say, "Oh, I can't plant vegetables because I don't have any space." Well, we're going to plant beets in some large pots, which anybody can put on their balcony or their back porch or their small backyard if you have what they call a patio backyard. And you can grow some beets. You can. We're going to show you also how to grow corn in pots for this summer. But let's talk about beets. Beets have been around for over 2,000 years. From the beginning, there's been beets, and they're a really great source of iron, help your fiber intake, your cardiovascular system, blood flow. There's a lot of things beets do for us. They were used in the Greeks and the Romans for medicinal purposes, the beet tops and the beet roots. So let's get started. So here we have these 3 pots. We're just going to take and make a little trench, ditch, whatever, in a circle, and maybe put a little line in the middle. We want to go down about 3/4 to an inch. Now these pots have just commercial potting soil, some topsoil, manure, and so everything you can get at your local big box store, your garden nursery. Nothing special. All right. Get the package of seeds. Now what you want to do, what we're going to do, is we're going to try very hard. As you can see, camera zooms in. The seeds are pretty good size, but here's the challenge. You want to put the seeds about 4 inches apart. Now that's the hard part. You want to drop one seed 4 inches apart, of which I have never been able, in all my years of planting beets, been able to do. Then we're going to put a couple here in the middle. Now there's a commercial beet grower. I tried it one time and didn't have as much success as he does. He takes his beets and he plants them like I'm doing right now on his farm, my hand. And then when they come up, he has to go back, hire a crew to go back in there and thin them out 4 inches apart. So he came up with his own personal remedy. He plants his beet seeds in small trays with 72 little chambers. And when the beet seeds, see, there's more than one there. When the beet seeds come up, and just before they're starting to form the bulb, he transplants them into his farm. So he doesn't have to go back and thin them out. So he's saving seeds, he's saving time, he's saving plants. And he doesn't have to hire people to go in there and thin them out. I always take and pour them over what I don't need back in the bag over the soil. So if they fall, I get a beet. Okay, so we're going to cover this up. Like I said, you want to be down about an inch, 3/4 to an inch. Best thing to do is always read the back of the package. They'll tell you how deep to plant and when you should see some beets germinating. So we're going to give this some water this afternoon. Keep it nice and moist, not soggy, but moist. And within about 120 days, 140 at the most, we should be harvesting some beets. And you can do this about every 2 to 3 weeks, 4 weeks, depending on how many beets you want. And then you can have continuous beets here in southern New Mexico, West Texas, all season long. Not only in the summer, but also in the winter, because beets are a really hardy winter vegetable. So that's it today from southern New Mexico, West Texas. You all have a wonderful day. Get out there in the dirt, get dirty, have some fun planting. Now, get the kids involved. You know, if the kids start growing their own vegetables, not only have them, maybe even give them a little book where they can keep a record on when they planted, how much water, when they harvested, get them in the kitchen and have them help you cook the vegetables. They'll really enjoy it. They'll take ownership, and it's a lot of fun. And you can control what your vegetables are getting, whether you want to go organic or non-organic and use commercial fertilizer, or you want to go organic, use manure. It's up to you, and it's all great fun. And the vegetables are so much better than what you get at the store. My wife one time when I grew beets the first time said, "How come these beets taste so great?" And I said, "Well, we grew them the old-fashioned way, with manure, the way farmers have been growing crops for centuries. Centuries. They didn't have commercial fertilizer. They didn't take and have the nitrogen chemicals to put in the fertilizer. They just used good old manure, and it's been working for centuries." So there we go. Grow some vegetables and have great fun out in the yard. Thank you.
A good while later.
So about 120 days ago, planted some beet seeds. Now, beet seeds are really interesting because in one little seed, you could get 2, 3, 4, maybe 5 beets, because the beet seed itself is a multiplicity of seeds within one seed. But let's go back and talk a little history of beets. You see these beautiful beet tops? For 2,000 years, people only ate the tops. They never ate the beetroot. It wasn't, and what is the history of beets? There's some history that says they started in Egypt. Others say they started in the hanging baskets of Babylon. They merged into Greek and Rome, the Greek and the Rome empires. Then they made their way to Europe. Then they made their way to America. Now, like I said, for 2,000 years, people only ate the tops. Then, in around 1542, around that time, according to historians, people discovered, wow, you could eat the root. So they started eating the root. But the root wasn't a round bulb like we have today. It was more like a parsnip or a carrot, long and skinny. Now, beets didn't come to America until around 1700. Thomas Jefferson planted beets in his farm up north. Now, this is the history of beets. So let's see what we got. Let's pull up some beets. Shake off the dirt. Yeah, we got some small ones here, but we got a big one. Nice sized beet. And look at the tops. We're going to harvest the tops. My wife takes the tops after I go through them, pick them, pull out the bad ones, like this dead one here. I pull off the stems, and she's going to take the beets, and she sautés them in a little butter and olive oil. Now, you can take Nice sized beets. I was over at one of the grocery stores here in town. This is a good size one. And organic beets were $3.99. Excuse me, $2.99 a pound. So let's see how many dollars worth of beets we harvest today. Shake it. Now what we do is we cut off the roots, cut off the tops, go through, find out the nice leaves, young leaves, and we're going to saute them up. Let's see what we got here. Here's another nice big one. And for centuries, beets were used for medicinal purposes. They found out, and still today, beets can be used as a blood thinner, improves cardiovascular systems in your body, helps your blood system. Now, some people, we got two nice big ones. You see what I'm saying? One seed, we got two beets. Some people say beets are brain food, and that's because the cardiovascular system is improved with the beets, and so you get more blood flow to your brain, so people think they're smarter. Maybe yes, maybe no. We're going to leave this little one in the ground and pull up this big one. Now, another thing about beets, they're used in the food industry now because red dye that they use in different food items, in the manufacturing of different food items, is made from chemicals. Now they take the beets, cook them, dehydrate them, and use beet powder to replace chemical red dyes, red number 40. Years ago, red number 4 was taken out of the food industry because they found out it was carcinogenic. So this is a natural food dye that manufacturers can use to use in pastries, in meats, and other soups and other items that they want a little red or pink in. Well, let's see. The nice thing about beets is once they start to mature, they start growing above ground, and you can just go down there, put your fingers around them, and find the nice big ones and pull them up first. Now, there's another one. Oh, that's a nice one. There's another great thing about beets. Beets are biennial. What does that mean? If you leave a few of your beets in the ground for 2 years, they're going to go to seed head. And with 4 or 5, 6 beets, you can get 200-300 beet seeds totally free. And so this is another really good thing about beets. Now, my wife, there's a couple of ways you can cook beets. She has put them in an Instapot, a pressure cooker, and cooked them for 20-25 minutes, and then you peel them and cut up your beets. There's another way you can do this. You can just wrap individual beets in aluminum foil, put them in the oven about 350 degrees for about 30-40 minutes, and then pull them out and take and peel them. Now, another way you can do it, in the aluminum foil, put a little butter, a little olive oil, whatever your preference is, and that helps the cooking process and improves the flavor. All right. Let's see what else we got. We probably got enough right here to make some good beets. Another thing you can do with beets, my wife loves them after she cooks them, peels them. Cold beets, beet salad, take and put them in a blender, and what you've got, a beet smoothie, which is very healthy, high in fiber. Camera crew is over here shaking their heads. They don't like beet smoothies. Neither do I, but it's just another option we're putting out there for you folks. All right, that's about all we're going to harvest today. Leave the rest to get a little bit bigger. We got some really nice beets here. Nice harvest of beets. We're going to go clean these up. Yeah, that's a big one. We'll peel off the, yeah, that one we'll leave. Compost that one. And this little one. All right. Well, that's it from southern New Mexico, West Texas, the beet harvest you can see. And we'll see you next time because we're going to plant some seeds and get some more beets started so we have beets all year long. It's a great vegetable. Enjoy it. And the good thing about it, it does well here in the winter, so you can have fresh beets all winter long and through the summer. All right. Well, once again, thank you and have great gardening. It's so relaxing. Clears your mind from the clutter of the day. You know, go out there, harvest some food, and take it to the kitchen and get it fresh. Thank you very much, and you have a great day.
Thanks for coming by, and happy gardening!